Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. 10 years of Going In Raw in 2024. I'm going to be saying that all year long, and it's only January 5th, Larson.
Oh, it's going to get so tiresome.
Oh, absolutely. Anyways, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about, I don't know, Larson, you tell me, because I haven't even pulled up my notes yet.
There's
how professional I am.
I wasn't expecting this much news today, but there's a lot. We got updates on when Rock versus Roman Reigns might be happening, latest on
Larson.
Trinity, and maybe Mercedes Monae coming back to WWE. Phil Brooks, CM Punk, talks about his Survivor Series return. We got an update on the morale backstage in WWE and the latest happenings in New Japan Pro Wrestling after Wrestle Kingdom 18. And hey, by the way,
yeah.
Do you want our review for Wrestle Kingdom 18? Guess what? You're getting it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that's right.
Tomorrow.
Because
watch the rest of Okada and Danielson, and I'm ready to go.
Listen, anybody can drop a review or like star ratings or whatever the day after. You guys want to wait for ours because the longer you wait, the better it is, the more premium it is, Larson.
The more premium it is, also the more time I get to kind of marinate on it.
Yeah.
My takes are better.
I'm directly contradicting what we say about the star ratings.
We're contradicting ourselves.
That's why it's funny.
Hey, those other guys already got their Wrestle Kingdom star ratings up too.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Shut up. What?
No lies told, yeah.
They're in this week's newsletter?
They are.
It was like yesterday.
I know.
What? Freaking mind blown. Are we going to do 2 star rating, guess the Meltzer star ratings today?
I guess if we have time later, we could do Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, let's do that.
All right.
Oh, man. All right. So, anyways, I'm excited now. I'm jazzed. I was sleepy first, and now I'm good.
Now you're awake.
Yeah. See, the thing that I like about this, I haven't read your notes, Larson, so this is going to be breaking news to me. So, following The Rock's appearance on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, and his reference to a match against Roman Reigns, there's been a lot of talk and speculation online about when that bitch could happen. In the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer, those other guys, who apparently are influenced by us because the star ratings are like immediate now, offered up his 2 cents. He said this: everyone is tight-lipped completely. Past Johnson would not have said what he did at the time. He did without the plan being to build to such a match. While one would think WrestleMania would be the place, it could also be in Perth, Australia, given the story that the government there specifically requested Johnson on the February 24th Elimination Chamber show. And it could also be at the next show in Saudi Arabia, which does not have a date. The government there is paying ridiculous money for shows already, and bringing Johnson in could possibly negotiate a bonus that would make it the biggest money event in company history. It is also possible that Reigns could face Johnson and Rhodes on different nights at WrestleMania. You want to pause there, or should I keep on going?
We could pause there.
All right.
First of all, how would you feel about Roman Reigns main eventing both nights of WrestleMania?
I think it's a bad idea.
Same.
I'm not a fan of that. I think that it's much more likely that they would do Rock versus Reigns at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're doing this early.
Early for us.
California time.
Yeah.
That's more likely than Roman doing 2 matches for back-to-back nights at WrestleMania. And I kind of feel like part of what he's saying here is what we're going to have to start really realizing going forward, and that WrestleMania is not the only thing anymore. I know that from our perspectives, being old men, and from most WWE fans' perspectives, Mania is the thing. You got Rock versus Roman happens at WrestleMania. Not anymore. It's an attraction match. It's not even a storyline match. And, well, it is a storyline match in ways because it's been set up in their family, and that's why it makes sense.
Thing, yeah. Well, here's the thing. In terms of WrestleMania having the perception as WWE's largest show of the year, that used to coincide with it being probably its most profitable show of the year. For a number of years, they were one and the same.
Yeah.
Now that you have governments around the world throwing ludicrous amounts of money to WWE to hold pay-per-view live events there.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the case. I'm guessing the last, 4, 5, 6 Saudi shows have outgrossed the last 4 or 5 WrestleManias by a serious amount.
Yeah. From what I like, the numbers that we've seen, the amount of one Saudi show is like cumulative for like the last 5 Manias.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous money.
Yeah.
And it's dude, that first Saudi show, it's not just hyperbole when they say an event greater than or equal to WrestleMania, because that's what they're paying for. That's what they want. They were trying to revive Yokozuna.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted to bring back Andre the Giant or whoever it was. They are serious about making their thing the biggest thing. And if Perth is throwing ridiculous money, then that benefits kind of everybody, because then WWE's able. Do you remember like 2 years ago when WWE wanted every pay-per-view to be a stadium show?
Yeah.
Well, they figured out how to do that. Now, I don't know about like...
They just couldn't do that in the States.
No, that's exactly right. But like, it's called, World Wrestling Entertainment. I think the friendo Alyssa, I saw that. She was like clapping back somebody on Twitter. It's called World Wrestling Entertainment, and they're quickly realizing that there are a lot of governments out there willing to plunk down a lot of money for their own WrestleMania greater than or equal to event. And so it's like, why not? The other thing to keep in mind is if we get a Rock Roman one-off, Larson, obviously, who's going to win that?
Roman is.
Right.
Put your ones up, Steve.
When they go back and do the big WrestleMania packages, you want the big WrestleMania moments through history that had reverberations through the company. Roman beating Rock, it's a big deal. It's a big moment. But it's not a passing of a torch in a certain way. I think Roman's going to be sticking around in a part-time role after Cody, and he's going to remain being, head of the table because he's a big attraction and everything. But Cody winning that title, assuming it's him getting the title off Roman, which seems to be kind of the likeliest scenario right now. Yeah. That's the moment that they play at the WrestleManias afterwards, and all the recap packages and all the, highlights for that. Rock Roman is big box office. It's a big deal, but it's a one-off attraction, foregone conclusion match. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's not like, Roman Reigns is fulfilling his destiny by beating The Rock. It's The Rock's coming in to A, get a big payday, and B, promote the UFL. And so I don't think it needs to be at WrestleMania because they're getting paid to do WrestleManias all over the place.
The advantage of doing it at WrestleMania is WrestleMania, more than any other show that WWE puts on, gets the most media attention. And if part of The Rock's motivation for having this match is to help promote UFL, whatever else he has going on, then to maximize media exposure here in the States, WrestleMania would help that. It is still the largest stage WWE offers because it is the most anticipated show of the year, because it gets the most attention here in the United States as far as WWE shows. So it's all kind of a balancing act in terms of WWE prioritizes from a creative standpoint and from a business standpoint. If they think, well, this Cody story's got more legs, we can go a few more months. We can go to a Madison Square Garden show. We can go to next year's WrestleMania. Maybe The Rock is very particular about, well, if I'm going to do this match, I have some criteria I want fulfilled. One of that is having it at WrestleMania. We don't know. We don't know it all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's true. Look, if Rock says we can only do this at WrestleMania, you got to figure WWE's going to have to take that under consideration.
Yep.
If he says I want to only within a certain time zone and I only want to do this, only want to do that, of course they're going to have to take it under consideration. But they can say, well, Rock, how about we add another zero to the paycheck because the Perth government's willing to do that.
Well, here's something else to consider. If Rock's schedule is pretty busy, could he take the time to fly to Australia, do a bit of media in advance, have the match, and then come back?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you sketch out a week out of your schedule, and everything's he probably works remotely.
He's
anyways.
got like 11 projects on the docket. So
all those 11 projects have like 100 people working on those projects, and he can, he's got his mobile office right here. Look, I understand he's a busy guy. I don't know how much, and on top of it, here's the thing though: the road to WrestleMania is a lot different than the road to Perth. He just set up the Perth. They can announce it on SmackDown. This is happening in Perth. He don't show up again until then. Maybe they run some video packages. He does some Rock match chat questions. Yeah. So, I mean, look, yeah, you're absolutely right. He is a busy individual, and that's got to be taken into consideration. But, knowing The Rock, he's probably got the kids at MIT working on a transporter so that he can doesn't have to worry about planes.
Does he have somebody working on something to help him get in ring shape quickly then?
That's going to be the bigger issue, Larson. That's going to be the bigger issue.
Yes,
because this is coming up on this is like less than 2 months away.
This is like a month and a half away.
That meat's going to be falling off on. But at the same time, the guy is, probably the most disciplined person on planet Earth. And I'm pretty sure he would know what it takes to get down to machinist shape if he's looking to shed that kind of weight to take on Roman
Well,
Reigns.
if it's a matter of shedding weight, I think it's a matter of getting his cardio in order. You know what I mean?
Well, shedding you got to get some of that muscle off, dude.
Yeah,
that shit's going to fall off. I would imagine there is probably a certain amount of muscle that he wants to take off because he understands that he's got to do this as with the least amount of potential injury as possible. Because, like you said, he's got 11 projects.
Yeah, well, last time he had a match, he tore some muscle off the bone.
Yeah, exactly.
Cena,
And I think he's bigger now, to be honest with you, right?
He's
enormous right now.
His shoulders are the size of my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's absolutely massive.
So
yeah, man, I think that it's when they did I'll just point this out real quick. I understand that there's more story here because of the bloodline stuff. I get that, but when they had Shawn Michaels come out of retirement for that dog shit match, they didn't do it at WrestleMania. When they had Goldberg versus Undertaker, that dog shit match, they didn't do that at WrestleMania. They did it in Saudi Arabia because the dollar signs were there, and that's what that government wanted. And so I think this is kind of no different than that, man. I kind of do. I think that the only complication is that there's some story there with the tribal chief and the bloodline stuff, but I kind of think that's just added value.
Added value.
Yeah. I know you love that term.
Added value. Hey, you want to get the rest of this Meltzer quote? We can talk about
Oh, yeah, man. Let's keep going. So he says, the reality is that even though the Rhodes match has been teased and built on television, the Johnson match is far bigger financially. With WrestleMania sponsorship now a $20 million or more revenue stream, such a match is far bigger to potential sponsors. While there is no significant money in pay-per-view, although this match would be expected to do more, and the live gate for the shows will be the same either way since they're selling out both nights, it will set the record for the most people ever watching a WWE non-linear television event. Peacock is in more homes than last year, and this match will draw more curiosity viewers than the Rhodes match. The more viewers means more new people exposed to the product or being brought back, which exposes the rest of the talent and matches on the show to a new audience. But with the big money foreign shows, it doesn't have to be at Mania, and there are other shows where Rhodes could face Reigns at rather than have to wait another year or longer to do so at a Mania. I think for end quote, I think for historical perspective, you have to do the big storyline match Rhodes at WrestleMania. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think I for the most part agree. Although there is this interesting symmetry to it. If it's the Madison Square Garden, say they book MSG for the premiere of SmackDown on USA when it moves back there in October, to get some real excitement going for SmackDown returning to the NBC Universal Family Networks, and you have Cody win the title on TV at Madison Square Garden.
I think the Madison Square Garden thing. I do think that given the location of that, I still say that maybe you do Rhodes Reigns at WrestleMania, And then, I don't know, maybe you do the rematch at Madison Square Garden, like, whenever, like, again, televise the post-Christmas show if they can do that. Apparently it's too expensive. Apparently it costs more than $9 billion to do that.
So. I mean, they're making, what, $1.2 billion alone on the SmackDown deal. You can't spend a few extra bucks to...
Right? That's weird to me.
What could potentially be a historically significant show at MSG.
That is so weird. I wonder if they, at this point, they just appreciate, hey, you know what? This is our big high-profile house show. It gets the kind of buzz we want it to get. It goes up on social media anyways.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So anyways, before we continue on, I want to bring this up really quick. Larson, we're on the road to 199,991 subscribers on YouTube. If you're watching this right now, do us a solid. Hit that subscribe button and the notify bell. We've got a Wrestle Kingdom review going up tomorrow. We're at 199,222. What a fun number that is. So what? 222. It's three
twos. Yeah,
that's great.
I'm aware.
So we've got that going up tomorrow. If you want to be notified about that, then go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notify bell. Also, we've got a Patreon and channel memberships. Either one you do, patreon.com/Steven Larson, $5 a month, or clicking join on YouTube. You get the Friendo Club set up. That gets access to bonus episodes. We've got a new one going up today. It's Friendo Cast, and we talk about all your questions. And Larson brought a topic that we talked about, and I think it's a pretty solid one.
Spoiler alert, it's not wrestling, but it is about The Rock.
Right, exactly. So be sure to check that out. And then it's going up later on today. And then also we've got access to the Big Blue Predictions Challenge. Yeah. Michael Keith Thornton is our current Big Blue Predictions champion. And you could be next. He could be a mere transitional champion. Evidently, he's a ghost. He is not. I don't think he's reached out to us. Hopefully, maybe in the comments here, he can reach out to us.
Maybe. Was it our first bot entry into the Predictions Challenge?
Wait, what's that?
So it was our first bot entry?
Yeah, maybe. That could be.
Was the name Mike Orton did a bunch of numbers?
Mike Orton 53629.
So yeah, Mike Orton, if you're listening to this, please reach out so you can get your picture that you want with the big blue title on.
He's probably trying to, but it's probably like going to our spam email, or it's like going to the @Steven Larson Twitter account, which we bizarrely like dropped because somebody else had the go. Like, remember when somebody else got the Going in Raw podcast?
Yeah.
Like they were like, yeah, no, we're Going in Raw podcast. And I was like, why are we started ours like a long time before you. And then theirs didn't last very long.
No. They changed the name of it, didn't they?
They changed the name of it and then they just disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, we've got all that going on.
Like this video too while you're watching.
Oh, hit that like button. It really does help Going in Raw. We're on a good roll lately, Larson.
We are.
Yeah, we are. Also, we got the Friendo Club channel, Friendo Club Wrestling on YouTube, and go check out our star ratings video later on today. I'm going to have to guess, The World's End, which is going to put you in the hot seat for Wrestle Kingdom if we have time to do that today, Larson.
Exactly. Interesting. Ooh.
That's kind of exciting. Anyway,
let's talk about this. Let's talk Trinity, Mercedes Monae, where they're going to end up in 2024. So we talked, I think, earlier this week about reports that Trinity is soon to be a free agent. Mm-hmm. The expectation is that she's going back to WWE. PW Insider has more on both Trinity and Mercedes, saying talking about the latest talks between Trinity and WWE, as well as Mercedes Monae and WWE as well. Regarding Trinity, PW Insider reports, quote, WWE sources have confirmed Trinity is expected to return the company when she is done with TNA Impact Wrestling commitments. One source believes she could be back as soon as the end of January. One source has since contacted PW Insider in a subsequent update to state they believe Trinity will finish up with Impact at the Orlando tapings. And while Monae's return to WWE is certainly less certain, although, according to PW Insider, it's not entirely out of the question. This is what PW Insider is saying regarding Mercedes Monae. Quote, in regard to Mercedes Monae, the last we had heard, which was around Christmas week, right before I got sick, so whoever wrote this was ill during Christmas week, was that communications have opened between WWE and the former Sasha Banks about a potential return. What are you doing over there?
I turned off my mic. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay. WWE sources noted that several factors, including change in ownership and the Paul Levesque creative regime firmly in place, set the stage for the two sides to reset the relationship before Vernado to potentially return. We are told the company would absolutely love to have her back and have made that clear, and that at least early discussions between the two sides have happened. In the subsequent update, PW Insider adds, quote, an AEW source reached out to say the company has absolutely been in contact with Monae and said, if you don't think we are in the hunt, you are crazy. So I believe it was Fightful Select a couple weeks back, maybe even more recently than that, reported that Mercedes, WB had been in talks, but those talks kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is a situation where PW Insider is saying those talks have resumed or referencing the same talks that Fightful did in their report.
So if this is saying around Christmas time, it would seem that was the situation there. That's already sort of been reported on. I know, like Brian Alvarez had said that he would have been shocked, or at least surprised.
It was personal speculation that she was coming back at
this past Dynamite on Wednesday,
or that he wouldn't be surprised if she was there.
Which of course didn't happen. I know Sean Ross Sapp has said on Twitter that it's his belief that she's going to land in AEW.
So Fightful's reports about Mercedes and WWE no longer being in talks. This is from December 29th, so that's obviously after Christmas.
A little bit after Christmas, yeah. I don't know, man. It's look at what happened with CM Punk. They eventually came around to a deal. Negotiation. You remember when Cody was coming to WWE? It was they've stalled. They're dead. They're back. He's coming. It's doing it. It's not happening. It is doing it. That's the deal with negotiations. They sometimes they take a long time. They go away. They come back, and then that's it. Such is life. They're complex. Where is she gonna go? I don't know. Maybe she's using these AEW talks to get leverage with WWE, and it's not working, or it is working. I don't know. Where would you prefer to see Mercedes Monae or Sasha Banks, Larson?
I mean, first of all, I'd prefer her to do what is best for her, which makes her the most money and what makes her the happiest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
That being said, part of me would really enjoy seeing her, not like necessarily on a long-term deal, to have some matches in Impact. TNA.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
WWE will probably could offer the most money, definitely the largest platform. They utilize their women's division far more consistently than AEW does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just excited about the possibility of her coming back.
Yeah. Me too. Wherever that is, I mean, I'm not going to watch if it's going to be in New Japan / Stardom, because I just don't have the time to keep up with all that stuff. I'll watch Twitter clips before they get taken down by copyright strikes. If she's in AEW or WWE, I get to see her, and I like her work. So if she's in WWE, chances are she'll be seen a little bit more than AEW.
Yeah.
Because they had that one collision with two women's matches, and they went back to their old formula. One women's match per show, maybe a segment. Maybe another segment here or there. And I just don't know, especially with if Deonna Purrazzo, she's showing up now. Britt Baker's probably going to be back at some point. Thunder Rosa's back.
They're giving Mariah May a pretty significant push.
They're giving Mariah May a push. Of course, Toni Storm is a number one in the women's division there. And with limited amount of time that they devote to the women's division, they got this whole other Triple Crown title now, and that took up a big chunk of time, with that big match to set up the number one contender for that on Dynamite. And so now you add another title, more matches, another division, and I just don't think that they're going to sketch out. I don't think they're going to sketch out any time. It's like if you look at how AEW and their ratings go, and you look at the quarters, it's not like anybody besides Danielson. I think Danielson's been the only guy lately that can actually pop. I know him
popping a quarter hour.
That's popping a quarter hour. I mean, as people are fond of mentioning, it's going from the Big Bang Theory all the way up here, and then everything else. So it's not the bottom line is whatever you're building up, be it men, women, tag teams, whatever. you gotta put the work in on it, and hopefully this past episode of Dynamite was evidence of that. But Sasha Banks is sort of walking. I heard some people refer to this past week's episode of Dynamite as indicative that they're sort of in a rebuilding area. And if you think about it, with Jericho, who knows what's going to happen with him? But he's also not much of a draw anymore, anyways. But he's kind of tainted goods for the time being, anyways. Yep. Whether you agree with it or not. It just seems like nobody there is really on fire, with the exception of, in terms of being a true draw right now for ratings. Yeah. With the exception of like the big matches they promote with like Danielson and guys like that. So it's like they need to work on building their people. I don't know if coming to a situation where they're rebuilding is going to mesh with what she wants to do. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Don't know. Speaking of WWE returns that have happened, CM Punk, in case you missed it, came back Survivor Series 2023. He was interviewed on WWE's 2024 preview special.
Nice. They do predictions on there?
Not that I noticed, no. Yeah, but he talked about the build-up, the lead-up to his WWE return to Survivor Series. Transcripts come to you via WrestleZone. This is what Phil had to say. Oh, God, how much time do we got? I feel like we could take up the whole show just talking. Everything happened that day so fast. You should never text and drive. That is good advice from CM Punk.
That is good
Ladies
advice.
and gentlemen. So I was trying to drive to the Allstate Arena and let everybody that deserved to know that was in my orbit know what was about to happen. I texted my sisters because nobody knew. That's how you get things done in this business. You keep things close to the vest. You don't leak stuff, says CM Punk.
You don't leak stuff.
And that's when the magic happens. It was a magical moment. There were so many things going through my head, the nerves, people I hadn't seen in 10 years. I had questions, concerns, maybe even worries. And it was all solved the instant the song hit, Cult of Personality, and I walked out in front of my hometown. I couldn't hear the song anymore. I didn't know my cues. You always, as a performer, try to hit your cues based on the song, like where we're at, where's Corey Glover at right now? Okay, I'm going to do this. This is when I get down. This is when I say it's clobbering time. All of it went out the window. I couldn't hear the song. I just heard the people. It was a very magical moment.
Oh, that's nice.
It's nice. He also talked crap about Seth Rollins in this interview.
Awesome. Very cool. Heat. Yeah, he said, I think the paraphrasing here, wasn't for me, there would be no Seth Rollins. God damn it. Tried and true story in pro wrestling. I came here before you did.
I helped construct the road by which you arrived here, yes.
Right, exactly. I built the infrastructure package that funded the road that brought you here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways.
You're merely driving on
it. So, yeah, that's cool. Right on. I like that they're sort of just using him sparingly. It's like they're not giving us all Phil all the time. They're like making us want Phil.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. That's a good way to go. They've got so much at their disposal these days. It is kind of nuts. There's
a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot going on.
Yeah. Speaking of a lot going on, let's talk about how that might affect backstage morale on a recent episode of Figure 4 Daily. That's those other guys. Brian Alvarez, the Wrestling Observer Padawan, spoke about backstage morale in WWE heading into the new year. These transcripts come to you via our good friendos over at Cultaholic. He said this: as far as Vince and Triple H, one thing I heard somebody say yesterday who's been a long time, and one of the big differences, I've never seen Triple H blow his stack over anything. Like not one time ever have I seen him totally flip out. Vince could be a complete maniac sometimes. They said, not one time have I ever seen him have a blow-up. Much easier work environment with old Vince and Kevin Dunn gone. So it's a new 2024. Given his, well, for one thing, he's never seemed like the kind of guy off camera to blow up. Like, especially, even if you go back to like, the MTV documentary back in 1999 or whatever it was. The most mellow dude, we're just out there to, entertain the fans. It's all about them. We got to go out there and do a kick-ass show,
Yeah.
Or after, the Montreal screw job when Martha Hart. No, not Martha Hart.
Bret's wife, is berating Triple H.
Oh, you did it, Triple H. Hunter, you knew. He was like,
I didn't know anything, I swear.
I didn't know anything, I swear. We're just trying to be out there entertaining the fans. The story never ends. But, on top of that, he's got the old ticker problem. Can't be blowing your stack, know.
You got to stay as mellow as possible.
But also, I kind of feel like this is Triple H's dream job. Like, he finally, Larson, got what he wanted. It's not shocking that he'd be like the happiest guy back there.
I know.
Right?
It's like everything's gravy from this point on.
Yeah, Vince is gone. God damn, he didn't have to answer those texts anymore. He doesn't have to check the fax machine for a script with red writing on it.
Exactly. No red ink from Vince on your scripts, on your show outlines.
None of this right here.
None of that.
Yeah, man.
No, it seems like as much as possible, Triple H is living the dream.
Oh, man, absolutely.
And especially after his health scare, I'd imagine he's as appreciative, if not more so, than anybody else.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what I would ask if I was at that scrum. Nothing controversial. I'd be like, Triple H, how does it feel living the dream? Oh, man, Steve, I'm so glad you asked.
I feel so lucky when I get up in the morning and get to go to this job every day.
Oh, man, sometimes I have to pinch myself because I think it's a dream. I give myself a pedigree. Jeez,
then I realize I'm awake. And I think to myself, how'd I pedigree myself?
Yeah, but I never kick out. You're not going to bury my finish.
All right, let's talk about what happened at New Year's Dash. Of course, that's like New Japan's Raw after Mania, essentially.
Was there anything besides what we're about to talk about? Was there anything significant? Oh, I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah, I wrote the other things that happened.
Okay. Yeah, so there are a few notable things that went down at New Japan's New Year's Dash. Will Ospreay announced his final New Japan Pro Wrestling date before heading to AEW. I'm assuming it precedes March, right?
It's a new beginning. It's a cage match, which I guess they haven't had a cage match in New Japan in 20 years.
Wow.
And it's United Empire versus Bullet Club.
Oh, okay. I wonder what's going to... You think Great Khan's going to take over United Empire? You think United Empire is just going to continue?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, you got Aussie Open already in AEW.
Yeah, but one of the Aussie Open guys is in Callis family.
Yeah, that'll change once Ospreay comes. Well, Ospreay's basically in the Callis family, too.
Oh, yeah. They need to disband that Callis family.
You got that right.
Yeah.
Zack Sabre Jr. challenged Bryan Danielson to a rematch in the future.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
That Okada. Oh, you haven't seen all of Okada Danielson?
I just started it. Yeah.
God damn, that's a good match.
I got to the point where Danielson's yelling at the crowd, tell him I'm going to break his fucking arm.
Oh, that's pretty early on then.
It is.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then Matt Riddle, via video promo, challenged Hiroshi Tanahashi to a match for the TV title.
That's a good if the TV title's gonna I don't know, Tanahashi's gonna do his own thing, but like Riddle versus Zack Sabre Jr. could have been a banger match. I mean, it still might. You know. That could be
who
really
knows?
good.
Who knows?
I wonder if he ever did that before. They were both out there before.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had a match before.
Yeah.
Whether it be in PWG or someplace else.
Did you watch the little video? I sort of
I skimmed through the video. There's a lot of B-roll of him working out and driving in that Cadillac.
Yeah, I know. And it was all dark and like out of focus and stuff.
Well, then the promo, they didn't mic him. It's just like camera audio.
Oh, that I didn't notice.
So you kind of hear the echo of the gym he's in. But he's got a suit on, but he's in the gym.
Maybe that's how he works out these days. Always ready for business.
It wasn't in the B-roll.
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't like you yelling at me, though.
He seems uncomfortable wearing a suit, though.
Versus Zack Sabre. Does he? I think he'd be comfortable all the time. Like, well, I guess, I don't know. He does walk around, like I've seen on social media. He often doesn't wear clothes.
Yeah.
Like, I've basically seen the outline of his hog.
Yeah, usually he wears what? Maybe board shorts.
Yeah. What is this? WWE wrestler Matt Riddle versus Zack Sabre Jr. Is this even real?
Is that EFED?
International singles match. I think this is real. Yeah, look. I mean, it looks like they have. At the very least, we've had Keith Lee and Shane Strickland versus Matt Riddle and Zack Sabre Jr. Holy shit, really?
They've teamed together. Wow.
This is all EFED stuff. It's not, but that always makes me laugh.
All right, Steve, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, let's answer some questions.
To
your question earlier, you're like, what are you doing? I don't know who put these chili cheese Fritos here. But I got some chili cheese Fritos, and that one started acting up again. Every day. It's just because she's getting old.
So you throw your dog a Frito?
Couple, yeah. And it stopped her.
All right.
She don't even really like these things.
I know someone who does.
What, Fritos?
Yeah,
Well, I do.
I do too.
Oh, yeah. You want me to throw you some? Here, don't.
Ty Moore here asks, a couple months back, there was a backstage segment with Finn Balor talking about the pyramids and when they were built with the rest of Judgment Day. What other conspiracies would you discuss with Balor?
Oh, man, you name it.
That Super Bowl one we talk about on FriendoCast. There's another tease for FriendoCast.
Oh, yeah. We talk conspiracy theories on FriendoCast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like who built the pyramids? What's another good one like that? Like something that happened hella days ago, years, centuries ago.
Oh, there's probably like a dozen things they mentioned on Ancient Aliens that could be discussed.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, Stonehenge.
Stonehenge, that's a good one.
That's closer to his home too, anyways. It's in
Yeah,
the general vicinity of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
Stonehenge. It'd be Stonehenge or Easter Island, maybe. Isn't
Yeah.
there some ambiguity as to what the hell happened there?
Well, I guess depends on who you listen to.
Let's see here. Okay. Oh, wow. Carlos Diaz says, if you could set up your perfect wrestling TV show story-wise, which of these storylines are a must? And he provides us with like 8. A babyface chase for gold. Would you, if you're your promotion,
Yeah.
would you have a babyface chasing gold, or would you have a babyface champion with heels coming after him? And it can't no like complexity to this, just A or B. Which one would you have?
It would depend on the talent that's on my roster.
No depending on anything.
No, because if I have the talent that would favor one direction over the other, then that would inform my choice.
You've got a really strong babyface and strong heels.
Oh, that's not helpful.
You've got several strong baby faces and several
Then-
strong heels.
If it's several strong baby faces that I think I can make lots of money with, then I have the heel champ.
Okay. There you go. A crisis of confidence. You love that. Of course you do that.
I do, and then one of the top baby faces after they come up short against the heel champion, crisis of confidence storyline.
A slow burn betrayal.
Ooh, that's always good too.
Yeah. What about this? I don't feel like you'd be really into this. I think I would be. All the Gold faction.
We've seen it done before.
Yeah. A whodunit.
Absolutely.
I would say absolutely not. It's never done well.
I think I could do it well, Steve.
Everybody probably thinks that, Larson.
No, but they haven't done it. I'll learn from all the NXT did a fine job with the whodunit with the Gargano and Alistair. That was fine. We know exactly who it was.
At the beginning.
But it didn't overstay its welcome. It was like a 4-week story?
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's fine.
It did give us John. Monster heel.
I don't know if you necessarily need a monster heel. You don't need a chicken shit heel.
Yeah, I don't like the chicken shit heel. And then a clash with the Authority.
That's kind of overdone.
Hey, I like that question. That
is
was a
good.
good one. That was a good one.
Cameron Bordalazzo asks, where do you think Kyle O'Reilly fits with Undisputed Kingdom when, if he returns? I think someone mentioned this in chat the other day when we were doing our AEW review. Once they kick Wardlow out,
Oh, yeah.
cool Kyle steps in.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Mason says, with hindsight, should Mox have won the international title and brought it all the way to the Continental Classic finals, making the Triple Crown with Eddie's titles? The Continental Championship just feels unnecessary. / what do they do with it when New Japan and Ring of Honor want their titles back? Well, okay, one thing, Ring of Honor is AEW. It's Tony Khan.
Yeah.
It'd be Tony Khan. New Japan, that's only going to happen if New Japan forges some alliance with WWE, which, in my opinion, is not out of the realm of possibility. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, God damn, what if WWE, like, you know how hardcore they could fuck AEW if they decided to, like, offer New Japan a ton of money, like a shit ton of money, and, like, just crazy opportunities with their talent. It would fuck AEW so hardcore.
Yeah, it'd put AEW in a tough spot. That's for
Forbidden
sure.
Door would be done. Because, like, oh, man, check out the stars of All Japan. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
No, I didn't care about that. No offense to All Japan fans, if you're out there. Dave Matushek. Yeah, I don't know about all this. Like, I agree, though. I think the Triple Crown adds just another title, taking up more time from other stuff that could be going on.
Yeah, I agree. Nikyle says, what's the worst thing Logan Paul could do to the U.S. title? So far, he's worn it naked.
He showered in it.
Showered with it. He traded it to Patrick Mahomes for a Super Bowl ring.
Oh.
Which actually is good exposure for the U.S.
That's
title.
fucking cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like weatherproof? Like, what if he accidentally leaves it outside? Probably look cooler because whenever it's like a title that's weathered and
exactly
and messed up, looks really cool.
Or when it gets beat up, like when Naito was throwing around the IWGP Intercontinental.
Looks pretty badass.
Cool.
Yeah. Put it through like a trash compactor.
Yeah, like it accidentally ends up in the dumpster and
like a Superman 3 situation.
Yeah. Phase 4 says, hey, friendos, you guys mentioned working for Machinima. I know it was probably a big company, but did you guys know James Willams? Yes, we actually did a podcast with James back when he was doing his wrestling training.
Yeah, we've been in several videos with James.
Yeah.
I think we did like a Left 4 Dead Disneyland video with him. And,
we did with Funhouse, yeah.
And who else was it in that video? I forget, Larson. David Matuszek. No, James is a sweetheart. He's awesome.
Yeah, James is awesome.
David Matuszek says, since Rick Boogs is currently retired. Larson, how is this not on our thumbnail? Rick Boogs!
I was letting you have that for Russell Juice, Steve.
I don't think I'm going to do a Russell Juice rant on Rick Boogs, but I appreciate that. Hey, would you be okay if I reached out to Boogs, got an interview for Russell Juice with him?
By all means, do it.
Just a one-on-one situation.
Although if he's done with wrestling, he might be wrestling YouTube channel. But he has his own YouTube channel. Apparently, he's pushing. So maybe collaboration is an important thing to growth in YouTube.
Let him push that. Wouldn't that be cool? Since he said the question is, since he's retired, what do you think he should do until the wrestling bug makes him come back? Oh, he's going to be acting.
Yeah, he released some pictures that were obviously headshots.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude, tell me he wouldn't be perfect on one of the CSIs or one of the Chicago, public
Fire, whatever they're called. Yeah,
right. Exactly. Public service shows. Fire, police,
whatever
doctors, whatever.
I know. EMTs, whatever they are.
Chicago DMV.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Chicago Department of Sanitation.
Right. I saw somebody was running on Twitter a clip of Cat Williams' appearance on Atlanta.
Yeah.
And Percy Watson played a cop.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
In that clip, you watch that clip. I'm almost positive the dude looks exactly like Percy Watson. But yeah, it's the one where he's got he's like, don't come in here. I got an alligator in here. They're like, sir, get out of here. And then like Donald Glover shows up. He's like, look, guys, this is my uncle. Just give me 5 minutes. Please don't tase him. And they're like, does he really have an alligator in there? And he's like, yeah, he does. Is he cool with you? Yeah, he is.
Keep on meaning to watch that show.
I know, me too. I watched the first couple episodes and they're fucking brilliant. I've heard did you ever see the Liam Neeson bit on there?
No.
Oh my God, you got to search that.
All right.
It's kind of fucking mind blowing. Yeah, it's crazy.
Justin Sider
That
says, who would you put in the WWE Hall of Fame this year other than Sid and Luger?
Oh, we did a thing, didn't we? We did a thing.
I'm sure we have.
What did we do? We did an episode of like a news brief. It was a thin day.
Oh, yeah.
Where we talked about Triple H's first Hall of Fame class. Yeah. So it was, I don't know.
I think Luger was on that. Pillman,
Batista, Victoria.
Victoria in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like Batista, Pillman, China, Luger. Like Heyman, maybe.
Yeah.
They're in Philly, so do Heyman.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jesse Helsius also has that same question about people who deserve to go in WWE Hall of Fame. So there you go, Jesse. Pat King says, what's the biggest thing you want to see AEW do in 2024?
Wow, there's a lot.
Here's my main thing. Somehow, some way, they need to make... I feel like so much in AEW feels like mid-card.
Yeah.
They need to make everything feel special. That's such an abstract, nebulous thing. I have no idea how to do that. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Like so much of that stuff, it just feels like people just sort of exist. And they need to pop. They need to pop. Like, man, I watched the entrance for, I watched the Okada-Danielson match last night. Even Danielson's entrance in New Japan. Oh, my God. He comes off like a star. The way they film it, like, it just looks big. Mm-hmm. And I feel, and maybe Tony wants it to have a bit more of a smallish feel. I don't know. But, like, I don't know. I feel like just more people need to want to get things there, you know? Like, they need to make things feel wanted and special.
Important and prized, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the obvious stuff, more time, more matches for the women's division.
Mm-hmm. A sense of urgency. I think it needs more of a sense of urgency.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, sense of urgency. Yeah, a sense of urgency from a creative standpoint.
Yeah.
And that should dictate how the matches are then wrestled. Yes.
Yeah. Because the matches are fine. The one thing I don't even worry about is like the quality of the matches. Those are great.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Juan Villa says, my girlfriend suggests we should spice things up in the bedroom with music. Is Bobby Lashley's theme good for that occasion? I knew that would pop you. So that's what she got to do is she's laying there unaware that lovemaking is about to happen, right?
Cue the Lashley theme.
Bum, bum, bum. Instant arousal, right?
Yeah.
Because she knows that she's not like a bad guy who's about to get, taken down by Bobby Lashley. No, she's a bad girl who's about to got taken down by her baddie boyfriend to Pound Town.
Oh, my God.
Dung, dung, dung. So instant arousal. He comes blasting through the door, fully engorged.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
As that hits, yes.
He starts phalicoptering.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. But he's fully engorged, so it's not really a phalicopter.
Yeah, that doesn't work, man.
And then, it's all pixelated at that point because
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, things are happening.
I suppose that would work. Carson Thrasher says, do you think the movie Beyond the Mat exposed the wrestling business? No, not at all.
Beyond the Mat? I mean, yeah, to a degree. Well, like, okay, like, here's behind the scenes shit.
Behind the scene, but it wasn't like a disparaging. Oh, look, this is fake. Blah blah. It was a respectfully put together documentary.
Yeah, I think it was exposing. Yeah, okay, I can see how part of exposing is like
it's like hey, we got you. Look, this is all fake.
I think it was a frank portrayal. And an honest portrayal,
yes,
of the wrestling industry. So in that respect, yeah, did it expose it? But did it, was it in a negative way? No, I think it was a fairly honest way.
Yeah. Luis here says, "What's the best course WWE can take with Cross and AOP so they don't become lost in the shuffle? Who should they feud with first?
Somebody who can take a loss, because this whole like, I'm gonna eat pins. I'm gonna eat pins left and right." And still claim victory. That only can go so far, Larson.
I know. Now is the point where they pivot to him beating people and still changing people after they feud with him.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, he wins and they still change. Forbes says, was filming the vignettes for Jade Cargill only to have her disappear to get retrained a mistake by WWE. I don't think it was a mistake. I wonder if hindsight they would have done it the same way if they understood where she was in her training, where she was with her in-ring. I don't know.
I wonder if the mistake wasn't so much doing the appearances and the videos, is maybe not continuing them in some respect. Keeping her on programming so people are reminded, oh, Jade Cargill's coming. Jade Cargill's coming.
I wonder if maybe the approach could have been improved if instead of her showing up in those backstage segments, maybe you do those backstage segments, but she sort of makes a decision and then goes off to training, and then we sort of get a definitive close to her arrival in WWE, but now the work starts. Like, you can end with like, now the work starts.
Yeah.
And then it's okay that she's gone because we know that she's training. And maybe, I don't know, we saw that great little video on Instagram or whatever it was of her training, doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, with Natalia, yeah.
Maybe do vignettes updating us from time to time on how that's coming along. I don't know.
Yep.
Heather Wright says, can I get a birthday shout out? My birthday was on Wednesday. Happy birthday, Heather.
Happy birthday, Heather.
Happy birthday. And then let's see here. Mr. Cool Car says Punk's goal was to main event Mania. Does he have to win the match?
No. He doesn't have to from a creative standpoint. The worry is he main events Mania against Seth, and if Seth wins, then the crowd might dump all over it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like for him to be satisfied, he's got to win. Like, hey, I get to main event Mania. I can lose. It's fine. You know, I accomplished my goal. He's going to be moving that goalpost and be like, well, I want a main event night 2 now. Okay,
exactly.
Dude, come on. Now you're being too much.
I want a main event night 2 and then win.
Yeah, and then win. Exactly. Well,
I want a main event next year and then win.
Yeah, I want to be the first, 5-time main event night 2 guy. Well, I think Roman's already got that.
Phil, you're 46 years old. I doubt you're going to be here for 5 years.
Yeah, and then backstage drama.
Exactly. What are you trying to say?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.